And good morning. Welcome to Wednesday. It's hump day. It's the middle of the week. It's raining. It's Wednesday. Hi, everybody. Tom Barfield. He's Lark Smith as we welcome you into the show. Glad to have you with us. We got a lot to get to today. Alan Carter is going to join us. Alan is the director of the television program The Voice on NBC. Directs the Country Music Association Awards, directs their Summer Fest, all these kind of great things. And he is a Wacoan. He is a guy that absolutely loves his sports. I believe he's maybe the biggest Ranger fan I've ever met and loves the Cowboys. So we're just going to visit with Alan a little bit, get caught up. I don't know this for a fact, but we'll find out. I think he is on a little hiatus, and maybe in the Caribbean. He's got a boat, and I think it's, I don't know if it's a boat, a yacht, whatever. I don't know the official terminology, but we're going to find out. And I believe the name of the vessel is the Wandering Hillbilly, which I think is an awesome name. So we got a lot to catch up with Alan. And you know what, Lark, you worked with Alan. You remember? I do remember when we were at Channel 10. He was part of the PM Magazine crew back then. Yeah. And then he went Hollywood on us. Yeah, he was in front of the camera with PM Magazine, and now he's behind the camera. So, and he went to Conley High School, so he's a former Conley cadet. Is there such a thing as a former Conley cadet, or are we always Conley cadets? You're always a Conley cadet. I think so, too. Yeah. But we'll talk with Alan today on the program. Also, Kyle Yeomans. We tried last Wednesday to get Kyle and talk Cowboy football. And Kyle is a Midway High School graduate, works for Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the Jones family with the Dallas Cowboys, and does a lot of other things. He does a lot of ESPN work. I've seen him on Tarleton State broadcasts. I've seen him on North Texas broadcasts. So we're going to catch up with Kyle. You know what? And he's a father of triplets. That's a busy fella. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so we'll get caught up with Kyle on the program today as well. We are brought to you by, and actually presented by Toe King, Gary Hoffman. He's just a great guy over at Toe King. And Toe King is there for you 24 hours a day with emergency roadside assistance. They've got the equipment to take care of you. Their operators are trained. They are professionals, and they're there. I mean, nobody wants to break down at 2 a.m. traveling, but if you do, then you've got help with Toe King. 24 hours a day roadside assistance. You can check them out on Facebook, or you can call them at 254-666-5484. And again, it's a locally owned and family-run organization. And I'm telling you, it really is a family-run operation, and they're great folks. And again, if you drive a Volkswagen, or if you drive an 18-wheeler, they've got the equipment to help you out. So keep that in mind. All right, lots going on. Did you tell me, because I was busy last night doing Baylor baseball on radio, did you tell me that we go out night before last and beat Mexico in the World Baseball Championships, World Baseball Classic, and then we lose to Italy last night? Yep, lost 8-6 to Italy last night. How do you do that? Well, I mean, with that lineup, baseball, that roster. As Steve Smith says, baseball is a very random game. Well, they got random for 8 runs. I mean, if you were telling me, never mind. Baseball is a crazy game. It is. You beat a very talented, and I'm not saying Italy's not talented. I'm telling you, the way the USA roster is constructed, they are, in my opinion, by far the most talented team in the tournament. And, most talented teams don't always win, and that's proof last night, I think. Absolutely. 8-6. Yeah. So that's interesting. So what does that do? Have you followed the brackets deep enough to understand what that exactly does to the U.S.? Not exactly. I do know that Italy has to play Mexico tonight. Yeah. And Italy is 3-0 in the bracket. Mexico is, I believe, 2-1. U.S. is now 3-1. And I think the top 2 teams from the bracket go to the next round. So I think the U.S. is still in good shape. Okay. Let's hope. Let's hope. Okay. Let's see. So that was you were at a high school baseball game last night.
I was.
A game that it's midwaytv.com through Rogue Media. So I mean, it's a partnership there, and you were there. We also did the softball game. Softball won big, didn't they? Last
11-1, 6 innings.
Thanks to our buddy Anson Massey for doing that play-by-play for us, pinch hitting for some of our folks who were a little under the weather. But you saw a good one, right?
I saw a pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
You had Brody Potts going for the Midway Panthers, and then you also had Seth Martin going for the Harker Heights Knights. And basically a pitcher's duel for 6 innings. Both pitchers gave up runs in the first inning thanks to some walks and a clutch hit. But after that, it was pretty much strike them out, fly them out, ground them out until we got to the 6th. And because of pitching rules in high school baseball, pitch count rules, they had to go to the bullpens. And the Midway bullpen, they went with their big, tall sophomore Hudson Pierce, and he did a great job. He struck out 3 in his 2 innings of work and only walked 1, gave up 1 double, and got out of a really good jam in the 6th inning. And then the Knights bullpen, the first pitcher that came in, he got a fly ball out. Then he walked 1, hit 1, and hit another one. And loaded up the bases. So they went to the bullpen for 1 more pitcher, and a 3-2 pitch was low and inside. Midway walked it off on a bases loaded walk.
Wow.
2-1.
You know what? You'll take them any way you can get them.
Absolutely.
So Coach Kornblum's club wins and Midway softball wins. So that's good. And we've got all the Midway softball and Midway baseball district games on midwaytv.com that our company is taking care of for them. So that's good stuff. Let's see. What else do we have here? Baseball, Baylor baseball won last night, 13-5, 3 home runs. And I'm not talking about cheapies. The wind's blowing out. It was warm last night. There was 2 lark that was launched over the 20-foot batter's eye.
I would think so.
That's 400 feet to straightaway center field. And 2 of them, Tice Armstrong and Brady Janusek, the freshman, hit 2 bombs. And then Hunter Snow hit one, I think, that probably landed in the river, down the Brazos River over the right field wall. And it left the yard above the light standard.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it was and so Baylor wins. That's their 4th straight win.
Yeah.
And now they welcome in West Virginia, the Mountaineers, for a 3-game set this weekend to open up Big 12 conference play. We'll get into all of that a little bit later on. I got to mention this. Baylor softball is on the road. They're going to play UCF this weekend, so they're on the road to this week. They're in Florida, and they're going to play Stetson tonight. Do you know Stetson's nickname?
They're the Hatters, aren't they?
They are. So what if they get upset? Would they then be the Mad Hatters?
Of course they would.
Okay, I just I needed to know that. I really needed to know that. So anyway, we are off and running. And thanks to Waco Body Men for being a part of the program. And thanks to Benchmark Construction for being a part of the program. And we are glad that you're part of the program. We talk with Alan Carter. We do that next here on the Tom Barfield Show. Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's kitbag.com. Kitbag.
All right, you're back with us. I'm Tom. Lark is over there flipping the switches and turning the knobs, and we welcome into the program our good friend Alan Carter. Good morning, Alan. How are you, buddy? Oh, we're having some audio issues. We cannot hear Alan.
Wow.
Oh my, having some audio. Let's see. So we're gonna effort Alan here. We've got him. Hang on.
He said, "Hang on a second."
So Alan, he's writing something. I think he said, "Hang on." So you know what? We're gonna hang on.
Yeah,
we're gonna hang. You know, and first of all, I don't even know where Alan is. I mean, you know, I don't think he's in L.A. But can you hear us now, Alan?
Wow.
We're not getting Alan's audio. We see Alan, but we're not getting Alan's audio, and he doesn't know why either. So, my goodness. So let's
try this, Alan. If you can hear me, up at the top where the address bar is, there's a little circle. Push that circle and see if it has your microphone enabled.
Live, baby. We are live. So, oh my.
All right, now you got me right.
There we go.
There he is.
Hey, Alan, how are you?
Yeah, and I'm a director.
Okay. You know, so it's live. What do you do, right?
Oh, I know live. Absolutely.
Okay, so before we talk sports, I want to get caught up on what's going on. First of all, where are you?
I am on my boat in the British Virgin Islands. I know.
Are you really?
Pretentious sounding, I know. My wife and I have had a vessel down here for a while, and so we're down here with a flotilla of folks that are we're all kind of moving around together, and so we are at Scrub Island in the British Virgin Islands today.
So is this the Wandering Hillbilly?
This is the Wandering Hillbilly. Look, you want some swag?
Yeah, there you go. Is it for sale? Go ahead,
Of
give it the plug.
WanderingHillbilly.com, man.
There you go. So how did you
should, if you go on YouTube, I have an entire YouTube channel that chronicles our journeys down here in the BVI. So it's a lot of fun if anybody wants to check it out.
So how did you get into this? I mean, is this something you've always wanted to do?
Well, you know, Tom, spending time on Lake Waco, as we all did growing up over there, on ski boats and things like that. Yeah, I'd always just been interested, just never could afford to buy one. And so out in California, where my wife and I lived for 38 years, you know, I went out to Marina Del Rey and just kind of got into it a little bit and took some, you know, captain's lessons and things like that. So it was enabled me to be able to do what I'm doing here, which is, and we just love the British Virgin Islands. It's just so beautiful down here. So we keep it down here. So we just come down whenever I got time off.
There you go. 29th season of The Voice. How about
that? Crazy. Yeah, you know, I actually have my agent on board this week, and we were just talking about it the other day. When it started, we just wanted 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Weren't you fighting the other music show?
I'm sorry?
Oh, I said, weren't you kind of going up against that other music competition program?
That other competition program had 30-something million viewers weekly. And so when we started, again, it was just like, okay, well, at least it's 8 episodes. So, and then I saw those beautiful red chairs and how they turned around and how it was cool that you didn't see who was singing. And I just thought, wow, this might be something good. And we were, you know, and we also, from the very beginning, have stressed to keep it positive, right? And that other particular show wasn't always so positive. So I think that helped us a lot, and just zoomed. And then the big kicker that really launched us is NBC had the Super Bowl that year. And so our first episode aired right after the Super Bowl, and boom, we took off.
Would you say you had a captive audience?
A little bit. You think? We had like 50-something million viewers the first episode. It was crazy.
That's amazing. I know you've directed a lot of music videos, but you also are engaged, if you will, with the CMAs. I know you do the CMA Awards, and I think you do the Summer Festival. You do a lot of things with the Country Music Association.
Yeah, it's look, hey, I'm a Texan. Come on. So I love country music, and so I've got a really great relationship with the CMA. So I do their award show. I do their CMA Fest in the summer. So it's a great relationship, and I love going to Nashville and doing those shows. A lot of fun.
I mean, I keep waiting for the text saying, "Hey, we need somebody to go fetch coffee. Come on over." And you know what? I'm all about it. So
anytime, buddy, bring it on up. Let's do the show live from there.
And you know what? That would be cool, wouldn't it? It'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
This thing is like 8 days old, what we're doing here. And we're kind of learning and developing the program as we go. We're in a brand new studio. It's not even finished. I mean, we're just flying by the seat of our pants and having a lot of fun with it.
Nice. Hey, listen, I heard you say Midway TV. Is there a Conley TV?
No, but you know what? We do televise all the Conley games here on our program. All the Conley football games. Yeah. So I know you love Central Texas, and you get home when it is often as you can. But we have Midway, Robinson, La Vega, Conley, and Lorena. How about that?
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
love that. I mean, it's amazing how technology is today that you can do that, and I think it's wonderful for the schools and for the parents, grandparents, all over the place. They can watch it anywhere. It's great.
So, like, if you're just wandering around in the British Isles, you could watch a high school football game.
I would, if it were football season, I would.
There you go. Hey, tell me a little bit about the you know me. I love The Voice. I think it's an awesome television program. I always have. Talk to me a little bit about. It's kind of a new format this year. I mean, you've got 3 champions, the Battle of the Champions, and you got a couple of other little tricks up your sleeve with the Super Steel, which I don't know anything about yet, and I'm hoping that you'll pass a little bit of that information along to me because I need to know.
Well, we were a bit challenged this season because of the Olympics. Normally we start in February, and obviously we couldn't because of the Olympics. And in addition to that, NBC picked up the NBA, which is on Tuesday nights. So it kind of forced us to kind of reevaluate and reconfigure the spring season. The fall season stays the same, but the spring season got a little shorter because of those two things. So we just kind of tried to come up with something a little bit different. And the Battle of the Champions is something we've been wanting to do for a while. And as a matter of fact, in an upcoming episode, you're going to see a lot of former winners come back and battle each other as well. So there's a lot of fun things like that happening in this season, and that's not normal for us, but that's okay. I mean, it's always good to mix it up. 29 seasons, we better be mixing it up. So so it's a fun season, very different.
It is, and I know they talk about it all the time. The relationships that the contestants build with the coaches, that's real, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is, and it's a piece of the secret sauce, I guess you'd call it, for our show. They're actually involved with them. They actually email and FaceTime them, and they've developed relationships, and that's what makes it so special because it's not just a singing competition, it's about growth. And I mean, you're dealing with 3 of the greatest singers alive, right? And so if you're working with them, you're going to get better, and that's the whole point. We like seeing an artist come to the show who's great, but 10 weeks later, they're even that much better. And that's because of being able to deal with real professionals who do this for a living. So, yeah.
Very cool that the country continues to buy in and feel, I feel like we're a part of the show. I mean, we're sitting in our living room, drinking a soft drink and watching the show, but we feel like we are, we're a part of this thing. And I think that's probably part of the success of the program is the audience is still engaged, very much engaged.
Yeah, and that's been our mantra from the very beginning, is that this is one of the few shows the entire family can actually sit down and watch, right? I mean, think of how many shows you can do that. And so that has always been our goal, and to keep it positive, and anybody can sit in at any point in any episode and enjoy it. knowing it's just great family entertainment.
All right, Alan, let's talk some sports. Did you get to go to spring training this year? I know you've been several times.
Unless they bring it to the British Virgin Islands, no. The timing of this just happened, and then I'm not able to go this year. But I did, I don't know, Tom. Last time we spoke, I think it was when we won the World Series. Was that the last time?
It may be.
Yeah. Since then, I have actually become pretty good friends with Chris Young. Believe it or not, weirdly, we sat on a plane next to each other, started swapping stories. The next thing I know, I've got his cell phone number, and all of a sudden, I'm talking to Chris Young about the Rangers. So
Are you helping him?
I'm sorry.
Are you helping CY with roster decisions and?
No, I'm not doing that. But I do text him from then. Aaron Zavala, who is a AA, AAA guy we picked up from Oregon, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago, is just hitting the cover off the ball down in spring training. So I texted him the other day and said, well, are we making room on the roster for Zavala? We'll tell you what he said, but it's interesting. I love spring training in that, some of the young guys that are in the organization, you see them start ripping stuff, and it's really, really exciting to see.
Alan, they have gone young, particularly in the position players. Still going to have a veteran pitching staff. What are spring? We're all undefeated right now. But I mean, what do you truly see with this Ranger Ball Club, and what's the ceiling, or is there a ceiling with this team?
Well, there is no ceiling. It's just that Jake Berger, Jock Peterson, Josh Young, they all got to have normal seasons, right? That last year, all three of them that was the worst season of all three of their careers, all simultaneously, and that was terrible. So, it's just, and Josh Smith has continued doing what he's doing as our now starting second baseman. And I think a real key here is Evan Carter has to stay on the field all season, right? Because he was brilliant in the World Series. He's been brilliant when he's been there, but he's had so many injuries with his back. If we can get Evan Carter healthy and keep him in the lineup day in and day out, and have the other guys bounce back, to me, there is no limit, because this pitching staff is going to keep us in every single game. Absolutely.
You mentioned the pitching staff. That's the one area where I think they really do have some serious depth. They've got some choices and some options, particularly in their starting rotation.
Yeah, I mean, picking up Mackenzie Gore was great. I think Jacob Latz has now proved that he should be a starter. And you got Evaldi and DeGrom. I mean, it's like, and you got Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker sitting there waiting as well. So it's just a great staff and it's a good mix of young and older or veterans, right? So it's just everybody's got to stay healthy, right? If that starting five stays healthy, we are going to have a great year, definitely.
I don't think, and you may disagree, but I don't think we've seen the best of Rocker yet.
No. And we've just begun to see the best of Leiter. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a development thing, and so it took Leiter quite a while actually to figure it out, but he's figured it out. So that's why we have to hope for Rocker as well. I mean, when you've got a former World Series pitcher as your president and general manager, he can help him figure it out. So let's hope that happens.
I'm going to take you on a turn here, but you're in the television business, so I'm going to ask a couple of are you a fan of instant replay, and are you a fan of the little box that they put up and where they can challenge balls and strikes?
You know what? My wife and I live in Omaha most of the time now. We moved there for family reasons and what have you. But I was at a Storm Chasers, which is a AAA affiliate of Kansas City, last year, where they've been doing it in the minor leagues for the last couple of years, right? And so I saw him do it, and it's really quick. The guy taps his head. It's played on the big screen for the entire audience to see, and it happens really fast. And I loved it then, and I think it's going to be a good thing for Major League Baseball. And it is going to cut down ejections, because people are ejected out of games for what reason? Arguing balls and strikes, right? So I think it's just going to cut down on all the ejections. It's going to make the game go even quicker, which is great. It doesn't slow it down at all, and I actually think it makes the umpires better, because they're going to get evaluated after each outing they have So yeah, and it eliminates any grudges an umpire may have against a player, or it just eliminates all of that. And so I'm in favor of it.
Visiting with Alan Carter. He is the director of the television program The Voice on NBC. You can see it locally on KCEN TV, Channel 6 here in the Central Texas area. Alan, I know you're awake. Do you get home much? Do you get a chance to get home and see family and friends?
Was back there a couple of times last year, unfortunately, for memorial services of family members and what have you. But hardly any of my family lives there anymore. My aunt still lives there. But whenever we come see Ranger games, if I can coordinate it, I'll zip down and see my buddy Craig Harper. He'll come down with me and we'll watch a Baylor game. So try to get back as much as I can, but not as like I used to, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw a little memory lane down for you. When you were hosting PM Magazine, there was a guy doing sports on Channel 10 named Lark Smith. Lark, say hello to Alan. Lark is he's right there.
Get out of town. Lark, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm bald, but other than that, everything's great.
You're living the dream like Charlie Sheen out there in the middle of the wait, is that the Caribbean?
Yeah, we're in the Caribbean. Yeah.
That I'm not necessarily a water guy. I'm more of a mountains and motorcycle guy, but that would be something I'd like to do for at least 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I mean, there are a lot of great resorts down here. You don't have to be on a boat, right? So highly recommend the BVI. It's a lot of fun. That's great to see you, Lark.
Yeah, well, we're still ticking somehow.
Yeah, somehow, right? Yeah.
All right, Alan, we're going to let you go. We promised we'd only keep you a little bit. I got to just kind of give me a breakdown of the Cowboys, and I know you're a Cowboy fan. What do you see with the Cowboys in 26, 27?
Who the heck knows, man? It's like, I don't know. I took a chill pill with them this season because of them getting rid of, the best linebacker in the world. and then saying our defense is going to be better, and then we're the worst defense in the world. So it's that owner. I don't know. I don't know, Tom, that we're ever going to break out until something changes in management. So Dak Prescott should have been the MVP of the league. He did such a great job this year, but we didn't win any games because of our defense. So you can't outscore the NFL. You have to actually play defense. So. New defensive coordinator. I like Schottenheimer as a coach. I don't know if you do as well, but I think he did a wonderful job with the offense. We need to sign George Pickens immediately. And then, so who knows? I don't know. The decisions that get made by that management are very baffling.
Alan, enjoy the Caribbean. We appreciate your time. We'll get you back on just as soon as we can. We love visiting with you and catching up with you. Thanks so much. And congratulations on all the success, man. You are killing it, and we are so proud for you.
Well, congratulations on you and this show. Look, hey, aside from me not figuring out how to turn on the audio, it looks great, and I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy you're back on the air and doing this. This is fun.
Good stuff. Hey, Alan, thanks. We'll talk to you soon. And when you're in for a Ranger game, let us know. We'll come up and hang out.
I would love that. That'd be great.
Perfect. See you later.
Okay.
Alan Carter, he is the director of the television program The Voice on NBC. It is the Tom Barfield Show. Man, that's fun. Good stuff. We are brought to you, and speaking of the Cowboys, we're going to talk Cowboys here in just a couple of minutes. We're brought to you in part by Morrison's Gifts. Sally and Mark, boy, they're there at 4312 West Waco Drive. It is the oldest family-owned, operated gift store in Waco in Central Texas, and they've got a little bit of everything for you. Guys, it's simple. You have to shop. We know you have to shop. You got to shop for holidays. You got to shop for those type of things. And sometimes you got to have that get out of jail card. You can shop, and you got to do it. And none of us like to shop. Let's be honest. We don't. We like to go buy and get out. Well, you can do that. You can walk in and say, Sally, this is what I'm looking for. Where do I go? What do I do? How much is it? And in about 5 minutes, you got it done. I mean, seriously, she can take great care of you. So, hey, if you're in need of a gift, a graduation gift, a birthday gift, a anniversary gift, Valentine, whatever the case may be, then you can go to Morrison's Gifts, again, 4312 West Waco Drive. That's the Brazos Square Shopping Center. They're right down the strip center from Jason's Deli. Stop in, say hello, tell them we sent you by, and Sally and Mark and all the gang there will take great care of you. All right, we're going to take a break right here. When we come back, Kyle Yeomans of the Dallas Cowboys joins us. That's next.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
And we're back as we talk sports on a Wednesday morning, the Tom Barfield Show. But that was, Lark, that was a lot of fun catching up with Alan. Incredibly talented guy. He's directed a lot of big-time music videos. I mean, things that you have seen your entire life. He's the guy behind the camera, pointing out, do this, do that. I mean, he's an incredibly talented guy. You know what? I thought he did a terrific job when he was hosting PM Magazine all those years ago.
Yeah, and he learned a lot about what goes on behind the camera, beside the fact that he was out in front of the camera the whole time there. So that's just part of this business. If you learn it all, you can go to several different directions. I remember when I was the weekend sports guy at Channel 10, the sports director was Alan Stone, and Alan Stone left to work the Lake Placid Olympics for ABC just as a production assistant, hoping that could be parlayed into a job with ABC. And sure enough, he ended up directing the Howard Cosell show, and has been with ABC ever since. So he never really wanted to be in front of the camera. He was for a while though as the sports director there at Channel 10, but he got that break at ABC, and as far as I know, he's probably still working. He may have retired by now. I'm not sure.
And you heard Alan say, hey, we were looking for 8 weeks, 8 weeks worth of work, feed the family, get it. Look, 29 seasons. Now, I think they do it twice a year, but that's unbelievable success with the television program, The Voice. And look, I guarantee you, we can get him back on and we can talk Ranger baseball with him all day long. He knows it. Like he said, he's close friends with the GM,
with Chris Young. Yeah,
see why? Yeah,
he's got an end that we don't have.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, he used to go to spring training every year, and man, you could connect with him when we were doing the radio show. We would connect with him while he was at spring training, and man, he could break it down for you. I mean, he knew it. I mean, it's kind of fun. He's an interesting guy.
Certainly is.
Very good step there. All right, it is 10:35 on why am I giving the time? This is radio.
Because you're used to radio.
The old radio thing. So I think Kyle Yeomans is efforting right now, Lark. At this, I think is he with us yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So we'll let's go ahead and get to the sports news, and then we'll pop Kyle on the program here in just a moment. Give us a thumbnail of what's going on.
All right, here's what's going on around Central Texas. First off, the Meyer Academy boys basketball team lost out in their attempt to get to the state finals yesterday, as they lost to Panhandle 59-33 in the state semifinals out at Abilene Christian. So there will not be back-to-back state championships for Rappaport, Meyer Academy, whatever you want to call them this week. The Waco paper refers to him as Rappaport. I refer to him as Meyer because that's the way they show up on their Max Preps page. But still a successful season for the folks at Meyer Academy, losing just one step away from returning to the state championships, where they were the state champions a year ago. And we do have Kyle Yeomans.
Hey, Kyle, good morning. How are you, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Hear you fine. Thanks, and I appreciate your time. And let me just say this. We are nice backdrop. That's pretty cool.
I went back to it for you this week, so that way we get it all taken care of.
We tried
looks nice.
We tried a week ago and show 3 to get this done, and now we get it done. And man, first of all, let me apologize about last week, but as you know, it's a work in progress, and we're trying to get this thing done. Talk to me, for our viewers and listeners, just kind of get me from Midway High School to the Dallas Cowboys. How does one make that journey?
Yeah, so proud Midway High School graduate, class of 2014. I'm from down there in the Waco area. I was born in Hillcrest. Went to Midway High School all the way through. Was at Speakleville Elementary School out there off of Highway 6, and so I'm a 254 ride or die all the way through. So love the Central Texas area, and the sports down there is kind of what gave me that intro. Is I loved growing up around Midway High School football, and I played baseball, I played basketball a little bit. I wasn't very good at either one of those things, but just always enjoyed being around sports. My dad works on the sideline at Baylor athletic events, and he's one of the security officers down there. So I've kind of been able to be around him and around Baylor athletics my entire life. And it was the dream that I didn't even know until I got into high school. I said, hey, what do I want to do? I love talking to people. I love traveling. I love sports. And I ultimately settled on broadcasting. And then I fell in love with the broadcasting element after interning a couple different places, taking a trip up north and going to North Texas up in Denton, got my degree there, immediately came back down to Waco, was working in the area for a little bit in small market radio, and then bounced to minor league baseball and ended up at the Cowboys in a production situation. And I kind of kept doing some freelance play-by-play from there. They had a couple spots open up on air with the Cowboys. I said, hey, I'd love an opportunity to try out for this. And they said, you got a couple shots. They gave me 3 shows to try and figure it out and see if it was a good fit. They said, okay, sounds good. Well, I did the 3 shows. They liked it. They brought me on full time, and the rest is history. Now, having called some NFL games, called some games at a high level, worked a lot of now over 100 straight game days for the Cowboys. Without missing one. So it's really been a blessing, and it's been so much fun coming from the Waco area up here to Dallas, and then now being the TV host and reporter for the Dallas Cowboys.
And you still do some side stuff. I mean, you work for ESPN Plus. I know you've been in Waco to do some Baylor games. You've done some Tarleton work, some North Texas.
Yeah.
You're a busy guy.
You could say that, and that doesn't even factor in the family aspect of it. And me and my wife, who welcomed in triplets back in 2024, we've got 3 little ones running around that just turned 2 last week, and so we've busy is one way to describe it. I like to say it's blessed to be stressed. That's the way I like it, because I wouldn't trade this life for anything. I wouldn't trade the job that I have for anything. But it tends to get to be a lot, especially this time because I'm doing college baseball, got college basketball. Cowboys draft coverage is one of my babies. I write our draft magazine and draft preview, 25,000 words, and I just submitted that on Monday. So it's been a crazy couple of weeks, but it's so much fun.
The draft is coming up in late April. I think it's the 23rd to the 25th, something like that. We'll talk about that. Let's kind of go in what I think is kind of chronological order. Let's start with the DC. Your thoughts on the hire?
I love Christian Parker as the hire for that defensive coordinator spot for multiple reasons, but reason number one actually happened in this room whenever he stepped up from a press conference standpoint and outlined what he wanted to do with this Dallas Cowboys defense. And this is a defense that was historically bad in 2025, and that's not a secret. Everybody around the NFL knows it. They also know that there are some pieces there. There's Quinnen Williams. There's DeMarvion Overshown if he stays healthy. There's Kenny Clark and a couple of young corners that they really do like. They feel like they have the talent level to not be a bad defense, at least not the historically worst defense in the history of the Cowboys. And he came up here with a plan. And that's what I wanted to see. He came up with a plan. He said they're going to run a lot more 3-4 than they have in the past. They're going to switch schemes, but it's still going to be multiple. And I think there's going to be a baseline of a 3-4 now compared to what has been the 4-3 in the past. And so when you come up here with a plan, and he's an extremely intelligent guy, even from going to Indianapolis and being at the scouting combine a couple of weeks ago, he's a very popular guy too. I mean, we couldn't go anywhere in Indianapolis without seeing Christian Parker in a conversation with somebody, dapping somebody up, giving everybody a high five and a fist pump. It seems like he is very well respected, even at just age 34 around the league. And Coach Brian Schottenheimer said, hey, I need somebody to come in that I trust. I need somebody that's hungry. I need somebody that's willing to work and to put their name on the line to try and fix this defense, because the offense was not the problem for Dallas in 2025. It was the lack of defensive consistency and really overall success that really hurt them in 25. So Christian Parker brings in some Vic Fangio defensive principles. He brings in a couple different principles of guys that he's liked in the past. And even through free agency, some of the signings, you can kind of see a change in philosophy from Christian Parker to what they've done so far.
Visiting with Kyle Yeomans. Kyle, Jerry Jones, towards the end of the season, maybe even early in the offseason, actually kind of took some of the blame, took some of the responsibility, said that there was going to be some changes. And in your opinion, in from the inside out, what does that look like? And what was your take when you kind of heard that early on, that that he was going to shoulder some of the responsibility of where the Cowboys stood right now?
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to do with roster building more than anything. And I was on the bus, one of the 10 or 12, however many reporters that were there in Indianapolis when he talked about that. But the takeaway that I had from it is that things that they have been grounded in the past aren't necessarily working. Are they the worst thing possible? No. And there's still a lot to be desired, I think, from a roster standpoint. But are they the worst team in the NFL? No, they're not. And so I think what I took from it is that he wants to tweak things. I asked him about the injuries and guys that they've picked up with medical red flags in the past. And he said, we're not going to do that. We're not going to redshirt guys anymore from what we've seen in the past. So I think that's one staunch difference, because if you look at their draft history, they have taken redshirted possible players and guys with injury background, Leighton Vander Esch, Sean Lee, you got Simone Rebel there too, as of last year. I mean, they've done that recently, and they've been willing to do that. Jalen Smith was a big one. So I don't think you're going to see that this year. He also said we're going to be willing to spend. And I know free agency for a lot of Cowboys fans has been frustrating so far because the big name hasn't necessarily made its way to Dallas yet. I know Rashawn Gary was probably the biggest name. Jalen Thompson's a big signing compared to what they've done in the past. I mean, last year, their biggest signing was Dante Fowler Jr., which was $8 million. And that's a guy that they had in their building 2 seasons prior. So they signed him to $8 million on this 1-year deal. And that was the biggest signing they've had over the last 5 years. Well, they bring in Jalen Thompson, 3 years, $33 million. That's 11 on average for those math wizards out there from Midway High School. I think you already see a little bit of a change. Now, did they get Trey Hendrickson? No. Have they made a move on Max Crosby? They did initially, but they ultimately thought that price was too high. And now they've got questions on the injury side, as would myself, honestly. So they haven't necessarily made the big splash yet, but I think they're still willing to make moves and to wager their future a little bit. That was another thing I took out of that conversation on the bus, is that they're willing to wager their future, which is something they didn't necessarily do in the past.
They have those draft picks in their hip pocket. They can use them in free agency, or they can use them in April when the draft comes around. They're in a pretty good spot, aren't they?
Absolutely. And I think that's what Cowboys fans are maybe hesitant to really buy in yet, is because they want to see the best player available approach, where they fill all the spots in some capacity and then allow themselves to take the best player at 12 and at 20, which I think they're closing in on that. They've signed 2 safeties so far that I know either have Christian Parker ties or Ryan Smith ties, who's the new secondary coach in Dallas. And Jalen Thompson is a versatile piece that I think can do a whole lot of things well for you on that defense. Then you bring in Rashawn Gary. He's a starting caliber edge rusher that you can pair with Donovan Ezeraku, even if you don't add another name to that room. Where they've really struck out as linebacker. But I think they're looking at linebacker as a possible add in the draft. They can maybe trade for a veteran linebacker. I don't think they're done shopping options there when it comes to the second level. So yeah, we're in day 3 of the legal tampering period. The NFL new league year starts today at 3:00 Central Time. There's a long way to go on building this Cowboys roster, and I keep trying to encourage fans to tap the brakes a little bit. I know there are a lot of big names flying off the board, but you don't necessarily want to hurt yourself by getting too deep into the woods and not be able to fill out a formidable roster on that side of the ball.
For us, myself included, that do not understand what legal tampering is, kind of walk us. I mean, come on now. If it's what tampering, really? I mean, like, hang on a second here. But what is that? I mean, kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, so every contracted player for the Cowboys has an expiring into their, or not Cowboys, for the NFL, has an expiring into their contract, right? So you're set to become a free agent in the 2026 offseason. Well, if you are an expiring contract, you cannot be signed to a new team until March 11th at 3:00 Central Time. That's the start of the new league year. But what the NFL has done, instead of waiting for all of that to happen right at the start of free agency, they've given a couple of days of kind of a pad period of, okay, it's so you can get a physical, it's so you can make a trade and conversate with different teams and bounce back and forth, because NFL teams are not allowed to talk to the representation or talk to players that are under contract by another team. So on March 9th, or Monday of this week, they said, okay, now you can talk to those guys. So that's where you see agreed to terms, right? The agreed to terms tag on a lot of these signings and things that are happening around the NFL are because they can't actually physically put pen to paper and officially become a part of the team until after the new league year, which again happens today at 3:00 Central Time. So it's just a lead-in period to where teams can talk and can agree to contracts. Most of the time, 95-98% of the time, those contracts are going to happen, and it's gonna end up being a part of that player is going to be a part of the franchise that they agree to the contract to. However, there are a lot of things that can happen to fall through. We've seen the Max Crosby deal kind of throw a wrench into things for the Las Vegas Raiders, where he fails his physical in Baltimore. He turns around and he can't necessarily, or the Baltimore's not necessarily okay giving that type of long-term investment with 2 first-round picks for a guy that may not be around long-term. So they back out of the trade, and now with the salary cap being what it is, the Raiders might have to go back on a couple of those deals. Now they can probably maneuver it a little bit and try and mix and match some of those pieces that they have coming in after spending $283 million in cap space in the first couple days of the legal tampering period. They can turn around and maybe maneuver the cap so that way they're still underneath the cap whenever they do go into the new league year. So it's all about money and timing and conversations and when you cannot have those conversations. But that's the best way I think I can describe it at the moment without pulling up actual like slideshows and trying to show everybody what's going on.
All right, Cowboy fans want to know, are we done with Brandon Aubrey? Are we done with George Pickens? Are those guys Cowboys? Are we set? They've got their money? I mean, is this thing done, or are we still got more pieces before training camp?
I think at this point, I think we're done saying they're not going to play for the Cowboys. I mean, Brandon Aubrey got the second round tender. He's going to be around, I think, for Dallas, unless some team comes in with just an unreal number and blows out what the Cowboys would be willing to match. Because Dallas feels comfortable in the Brandon Aubrey situation because they can match whatever deal on his restricted free agents. Free agent signing period that any other team's going to throw out there. And if they elect not to match whatever team is going to go out there, they're going to get a second round pick in return. So there's options there for Dallas. For George Pickens, the tag is a foregone conclusion. That was something we anticipated was going to happen at some point in time as well. It is a placeholder. They were probably not going to reach a deal until George Pickens can see what his league-wide value is and go and conversate with other teams, because at least from the conversations that I had in Indianapolis and from some of the people around the league that I trust, the league-wide thought process around George Pickens is that he had a great year in Dallas, but we want to see more. And I think Dallas values George Pickens very highly, but George Pickens also wants to get his money because of the type of performance he's coming off of. And I don't blame him. When you have 1,300 yards receiving in the season that he did, a season high or a career high in almost every statistical category, I would want to see the bag too. However, if you're George Pickens, you look at where you were most valued. And I think Dallas is that spot. Dallas really values George Pickens. He was a big reason why their offense was as electrifying as it was in 2025. So there's kind of a split between the three parties, and the three being the Cowboys, who value George Pickens, but not enough to give him an incredible deal and to reset the market. George Pickens, who feels like, hey, I'm one of the top receivers in football. I would like to be at least close to resetting the market. And then the rest of the NFL that doesn't see the same value that Dallas or George Pickens does in general. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but I do think he will ultimately play for the Cowboys, and he'll play off of that franchise tag. I don't think he will play on the tag. I think he'll actually get a deal done, and he'll be around for 2 to 3 more years on that deal. If he ends up playing on the tag, I think I'd be a little bit surprised, but it's also a possibility. I don't see this as a Micah Parsons situation as to what happened last year. And I know while Cowboys fans are a little scarred by that, this is it's the same agent. It's a different situation than I think what Micah Parsons had. There's a little bit more of a gray area here than Micah Parsons was when there was a huge split between he and Dallas in terms of how he was valued.
Great stuff, as always. Man, I want to do this again. Let's do it again maybe next Wednesday. I'm just,
Hey, that sounds good. 10:30, right on the dot this time, right?
Exactly. Hey, where can they find you? Where can people find your stuff? Talk to us about where you can go get more Kyle Yeomans. I know everybody wants more Kyle Yeomans.
Yeah.
How?
Hey, I'm going to clip that and put that on my social media that everybody needs it. At Kyle_Yeomans is my Instagram, Twitter handle. I'm pretty active on both of those. I'm not like a huge social media guy. I try and do my best, but a lot of times I'm prepping and taking notes and calling games and talking ball. You can follow our podcast at Talking Cowboys, at The Draft Show, which is all the way through draft season. And then we'll have all the coverage on our flagship station up here in Dallas as well on draft weekend. That's available throughout. And then, ESPN Plus, anytime North Texas is playing, I've got the Baylor TCU series down there in a couple of weeks for ESPN Plus. Really excited about that one. And then I'm also going to have the Big 12 tournament for ESPN Plus this year. 6 games, including both semifinals. So really excited to get some Big 12 baseball underneath. I know there are a lot of Big 12 baseball fans down there. Mitch Thompson's doing his thing, trying to get the Bears back on track. It's been a fun season so far, and I can't wait to be a part of it just on the TV side of things coming up in a couple of weeks.
Hey, when you go to the Big 12 tournament, you may want to grab a sweater. I mean, we're going to be in Phoenix.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and chilly, right? nice and chilly. May in Phoenix. It's going to be like a 104.
But it's a dry heat.
I was just about to say, we're good. We've been in the humid Texas air for far too long.
Kyle, thanks. We'll talk
Thanks,
to you
guys.
See you
Yes,
later.
sir. See you next week.
Dallas Cowboys. Good stuff. We're presented by Toe King and brought to you by Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers, 18th and Herring, 10 until 4:30 Monday through Friday. Saturdays 10 until 2. Great burgers, just the way you like it. Stop by, see them today. Perry, David, and the entire crew there. And of course, they also do catering. They can cater anything for you, and you can talk to David about catering when you go get a burger and some fries. I mean, it's pretty good deal there. All right, we take a break. When we come back, Lark has the sports desk, and then we'll put a bow on this one. This is the Tom Barfield Show.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over. All right, lots going on in the heart of Texas area, and let's go to the sports desk. Lark has got some news and notes.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Big 12 men's basketball tournament last night. Baylor loses out to Arizona State 83-79. The SEC men's basketball tournament gets underway today with the Texas Longhorns taking on Ole Miss at 7 p.m. The Texas Aggies do not play until Thursday. They get the win of the South Carolina-Oklahoma game. Region 5 junior college basketball tournament getting underway in Odessa today. Women's play gets underway today with McLennan playing Howard at 3 o'clock. The Hill Rebel girls will take on Clarendon at 7 o'clock tonight. The men's tournament starts tomorrow. College softball yesterday saw Houston beat Lamar 5-0, and UMHB took a doubleheader from Houston Tillotson 13-0 and 3-1 in college softball today. The Baylor Bears are in Florida taking on Stetson. That's a 5 o'clock first pitch. The Texas Longhorns at home against East Texas A&M for a first pitch about 7 o'clock. College baseball yesterday. Tom was at the Baylor game where they beat Sam Houston 13-5. TCU and Kansas played a game that got to the ninth inning with one out. 9-2 was the score when they suspended the game due to rain. And Kansas decided that we'll just stick around. We'll play 2 more outs today at noon. Texas Tech loses to UTSA 9-8, and Houston wins the Battle of the Bayou 13-1 over Rice. Texas A&M will win over Stephen F. Austin 14-1, and Texas beat Texas State 15-4. There's one game in Big 12 baseball today. That's Texas Tech hosting UTSA. They lost to UTSA yesterday. JUCO softball today out in Ranger. The MCC High Lassies taking on Ranger. Temple is at home against North Central. There's junior college baseball in Waco today at the Bosque River Ballpark as the Highlanders take on Ranger. First 1 o'clock first pitch there at McClinton Field. The Temple Leopards are at North Central, and the Hill Rebels are not playing conference this week. They're at home against St. Edward's JV today. We already mentioned the World Baseball Classic where the USA lost to Italy 8-6. And then there was some softball games yesterday. Midway defeated Temple 11-1. The Midway boys in baseball defeated Harker Heights 2-1. Also, Cove blasted Copperas Cove 16-0. Tom, that's pretty much what has gone on and will be going on in sports around Central Texas.
All right, Lark, thanks so much. We're going to take a break here. We'll come back and we'll look ahead to tomorrow's program. I think we got another fun one planned for you. We are brought to you in part by Lake Waco Golf Club. It's a semi-private facility on the north side of the lake, 18-hole golf course. They got a executive par 3. I'm going to find out what executive par 3 means. I know what a par 3 is, the par 3 golf course, but what's an executive par 3?
That's for the guys that drink whiskey and smoke cigars.
Ah, okay. If you say so. Yeah. Anyway, they've got the executive par 3 golf course. They've got a swimming pool. They got a new bar and grill. They got a great practice facility. All those things available, and you can check them out at wacogc.com. That's wacogc.com. And you can also give them a call and get a tee time and go out and play some golf. We take the break. We're back to take a look at tomorrow's program. We'll do that quickly here on the Tom Barfield Show.
Since 1996, Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers at 18th and Herring has been serving Waco's best burger. There's nothing better than a delicious burger cooked just the way you like it, with garden fresh toppings on a buttered bun. Add tots, fries, curly fries, or onion rings for a perfect meal. So what are you waiting on? How about Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers today? Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers. And don't forget to ask about Double R's catering. Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over. Family owned and operated, Jasper's Barbecue is serving up Texas-style barbecue meats and sandwiches and all the fixins. Enjoy mouth-watering brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and don't forget the potato salad and barbecue beans. Located in Waco on Elm Street, right off of I-35, open Tuesday through Saturday 10 until 2 or until the food runs out. Stop by today and enjoy the best barbecue around. Voted one of the best barbecue joints by Texas Monthly. That's Jasper's Barbecue in Waco. You won't leave hungry.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycats mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
All right. You know what? We've had so much fun. We're kind of running a little long today, but who cares? We're having a good time. Let's see. Coming up tomorrow, we will talk golf with Jones Mitchell and Stan Mitchell. His dad, who is the longtime golf coach out at McLennan, is going to join us, and we'll talk golf from Lake Waco Golf Club. Also on the program tomorrow, Lonnie Judd, the director of athletics at Robinson High School, Robinson Independent School District, is going to join us. Lonnie is going to call it a career at the end of the school season. So we'll talk with Lonnie and go reminiscing about his days at Midway and Moody and Robinson and up in the Metroplex. We'll do all of that on the program tomorrow. That's it for us. Many thanks to everyone who's been a part of the program. Thank you for watching. For Lark, I'm Tom. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.